They tried to play us, but we made the game. Offend these haters, turn their shade to shame.
Believe you me.
Stick with the name that pays. Big Daddy everything.
And they thought I was dumb to rap, but how dumb is that when I'm the running back? Good punch you in front of you at eye level, see if you gon' stomach that. It's food for thought, but we don't feed them hoes, we don't need them hoes. Eloquent, Big Daddy elephant, just in their element. Intelligence, telling man something they could tell a friend. And Armentum Elephantes, what's up? Always good to see everybody. Armentum Elephantes, I like to say, herd of elephants. It's Italian, right, Jeff? Or Latin?
Yes, sir. Latin, which is Italian is Latin.
It's Latin. Armentum Elephantes. What are we talking about today? We're talking about something important, probably. All right, something that has some relevance with the times. All right, it's just myself and then, hey, Jeff, you want to say what's up to the people?
I do, man. People, what's up? Welcome to the Big Daddy Energy Podcast. We talk about all kinds of stuff here. Manhood, manliness, things pertaining to men. And today, we're going to talk about something important. So, let's get it.
Something, excuse me. Something particularly, or just a little bit parched. Let me open this.
Oh, man. That looks like a lot of water for a reasonable price.
Wow. And it's smooth hydration, actually.
Wow.
So
nice.
All right. Pretty good practice, right?
It is.
All right, so
How convenient.
That's convenient. Is that like a little back scratching claw, like a raccoon claw?
It is. It's actually called the cat claw.
Cat claw. Gotcha.
It's affordable, durable. It scratches your own back.
Get those hard to reach places.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're going to talk about something very serious because we're over here joking, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's usually how we start our serious talks.
Yeah.
Something seems to be going on. Hey, and if you haven't subscribed on YouTube, I would suggest that you do. That way you can be big time. But for everyone that's looking to change their lives, it seems like everybody wants more money, but for the most part, I would say that everybody just wants to. How would I sum it up, brother? Be happy.
Be satisfied with life.
Satisfied. You think people want to be satisfied?
I think so.
That's impossible. That's impossible.
When I compare satisfaction and happiness, brother, I think of cold water versus fresh water on a hot day.
All right, help me. Okay, talk to me.
Okay, so when it's hot outside and you're sweating and your body's hot, you crave the cool. And when you look at a cold bottle of water, you think, man, this is exactly what I need. But then when you take a sip of it, it's very hard to drink cold water when you're hot.
Okay.
Especially ice cold water, brother. It's actually horrible, not only for you, but it's very difficult to drink that. You won't hydrate fast enough because it's too damn cold and you're too damn hot. What's refreshing and what's satisfying is a nice, fresh bottle of water or glass of water that's equal to the temperature around you. Just drink that, and you will be hydrated and you will be satisfied, and you can continue on about your day.
So which one is which? Which one is more like the happiness? Which one's more like satisfaction?
The cold water, the ice cold water, that's happiness.
I got you.
That's the thing that you think you want and need, but in fact you don't. right? And it's instant gratification, but overall, it's not sustainable because you can't drink ice water every day all the time. You won't be hydrated enough. The regular temperature water, the fresh water, that's satisfaction, brother. So you can drink that constantly. So preferably some sort of alkaline. Yeah, there you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Selling waters.
Yes, sir.
Satisfaction. Is it possible to be satisfied in life? I really do like the illustration though, brother. I really like that. But I'm thinking about this word satisfaction. What a concept, brother.
Yeah.
Maybe content.
Content. I think that's more obtainable.
Yeah, because I could see a lot of people being content and wanting to be content, at least.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But man, and satisfaction, I don't know if it's even possible, brother.
Yeah.
While you're still alive, I could see when you're dying, you could say, well,
Right at the end.
yeah, you just kind of think about everything. Be like, yeah, well, no, I'm ready to go. Yeah, I'm satisfied. I'm ready to go.
I had a full run, guys.
Yeah. But a 32-year-old, brother.
Yeah, no, I can understand.
There's no satisfaction for a 32-year-old, brother.
Uh,
Not even a 49-year-old. It's 47.
Yeah.
Look at all that he's still trying to do, man.
It's true, brother. Yeah.
I like it. But yeah, so let's do that. Let's say that everybody's at least trying to be content.
Yeah.
At least, at the very least, bare minimum. You want to see others, you want to be content yourself, you want to see others be content. Well, the good thing is that the opportunity is about to present itself. It's actually presented itself now. And listen, brother, I don't know why there's not enough people listening to this stuff. We don't even charge. Hey, get over. Tell people to come listen to what we're about to say.
This is free stuff, man. You think? What if we start giving out like useful information about random things? You think that would start drawing people in? Like 2 minutes of video, give out some useful info, some tips and tricks.
Maybe it would. I thought that's what we were doing this whole time, but like condense it into small little.
Yeah, we'll just like start giving out small tips and tricks and information. I don't know. Maybe that one.
We could try. We need something to get some more people in here because not for vanity, not so we can say, oh, look, we have attention from people. Because what can we do with that? Just attention? Just people blinking their eyes towards us?
Yeah. Best case scenario, we could show off and do dance move. That's about it.
We could. That's true.
That'd be pretty cool.
That is true. I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's true. But other than that, to have more people here so that we could as a community, as a generation, as a people, we can make a huge shift in the way things are going. Because it's all about the way we think. You say, man, these guys, man, they're cool, man. Maybe laugh sometimes, but the way they think, it's just they're out there. And I don't think either of us would argue with that. Jeff, would you argue about kind of being out there, your mind?
Nah, brother, I'm out there, man. I am.
Yeah, I know I am. It's just different.
Yeah.
But if we could make a paradigm shift, if our mentality could change just a little bit, we could make a huge shift, and so many things will start going in our way. We'll start going our way.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of things that I want to get to, Jeff. I'm gonna have you talk about some of the things that's opening up as far as the way the government is looking at things, and I guess I'll touch the economy and stuff. But here are some markers to show you that things are changing. Just a few markers. Hey, and if you're calling people to come and they're not coming, that's fine. Just just write down in the comments or repost, and then write down when you repost this. Just write down what somebody said. It could be Jeff.
Mhm.
Jeff talks better than I do, or it could be something I said, and that would be cool too. I remember it better. Only because I hear it twice, Jeff. I hear it like in my head, and I hear it coming like that too. That's the only reason.
I got you. Yeah, I don't usually hear it until it comes out. So,
No, you got to hear it on the way out.
well, all right. I try.
Here are some markers in 2020. We had 3 situations. Pretty bad. One in February, kind of like March, like another in May, and then a third one could have been like November of 2019, but started really gaining traction in 2020 around March, April, May, June. And so that was the biggest one. First was George Floyd. George Floyd died we watched it on many of us watched it on our phones, and then it made it to TV and you could see it over and over again. And he died by the hands of police.
Yeah.
And then the second biggest one was Ahmaud Arbery. He died not by police, but by people taking care of their neighborhood, from what they understood. Is taking care of their neighborhood. Assumed, made some assumptions, and acted on their assumptions, and it resulted in a young man dying. And then the third one, which was still pretty popular, very widespread, it had a longer kind of scope, but Breonna Taylor, she got shot while she was sleeping.
Yeah.
And this by police due to a search warrant that really wasn't warranted. And then she died. Over the past, that was 2020, over the past 6 weeks or so, maybe less, I've seen federal judgments against the participants of George Floyd that murdered George Floyd. I've seen judgments against, or at least charges brought against, officers that dealt with Breonna Taylor in that incident. And then I've also seen Ahmaud Arbery just today, seeing that, what's his name, McMichaels or whatever his name, gets life. And then the other, his dad, I guess, got life. And I believe the last guy who ruined it for him, he got some time too.
Yeah.
I say
Big
he
deals,
ruined
man.
it. I'm sorry? Big deal, right?
Yeah, that's all a big deal, yeah.
How are these markers? Well, I remember we started doing this, talking, whether it was social media or, Jeff, you and I, we started this in 2020. I got some videos from 2020 actually. Still. And we were talking about, hey, it's time to start businesses. Things are about to change. And if you just look at, right, we did. If you just look at the day by day, you would say, hey, you guys lied to us because we didn't really see anything change. But it's very much been changing. There's a young, well, she's not young anymore. There's a woman who's still alive. She's 87, maybe, who in the 50s, this happened in the 50s, Jeff. In the 50s, said that a young 14-year-old black they would call him a kid at the time. Young 15-year-old, 14-year-old black kid catcalled her and whistled at her, disrespected her. 50s, Jeff, like 1950s.
Yeah.
And
A
so
long time ago.
that's a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a super long time, brother. We're talking 80% of someone's life.
Okay. Let's do that. Let's say it's a long time ago. So that kid didn't get arrested. He got beat to death by many people. He got beat unrecognizable, so unrecognizable that his mother, who was young herself, said, I don't want to have a closed, because usually whenever somebody, if you ever been to a funeral and it's a closed casket,
Yeah.
the reason why it's a closed casket is because there's so much mutilation that has happened that's not going to be good
Yeah.
showing. Can't show
Right.
us.
It's unpleasant. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. And so he should have definitely, the way he looked, he should have definitely had a closed casket. But the casket wasn't closed because she said, I want everyone to see what they did to my baby, she said. This baby, she named Emmett. Last name Till. That was in the 50s. That was right before civil rights.
Yeah.
About 10 years. So that's like 1955, 10 years later, you had civil rights. So that means Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was in his late 20s when this happened. You heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
That happened in this same country, the one that we live in right now. So how in the world did these, from what I understand, upstanding white citizens, cops even, some are cops, some were ex-cops, all of these are upstanding white civilians that's actually on the good side, the good old boys.
Yeah.
How are they having judgments against them in this same place? This is the same America. It hasn't been 100 years. How are they having judgments against them for them to go live the rest of their lives in prison? How is that happening? Here? Maybe there's a change happening. Jeff, you've been looking up some stuff. Why don't you share some of the stuff you were just sharing with me?
Yeah. I appreciate that, brother. So the 1950s, contrary to what I said earlier, actually weren't that long ago, guys.
You said it was a long time. You said it was
I
very
did.
long.
Yes, sir. It's a very long time. And the reality is it wasn't that long ago. And so what's the difference in the way you see it? Well, it's perspective. And the perspective that we have on these things are going to be a part of shaping the ideas that we have to fix them, or the ideas that we have to prepare for what's next. And so the 1950s actually were not that long ago. And what I've been looking at recently is the order that these things tend to happen. And so I kind of went back to the civil rights movement and looked at its birth to see when it was born. And this is kind of what got me on this idea. So the civil rights movement was actually born sometime around 1941. There was a group of activists, so-called African-American activists, that threatened to march on Washington to end segregation in 1941. Some of the boycotts that happened over bombings at churches, the bus boycott, all that was in right after 1945. And so in the late 1940s is when we see the civil rights movement that we see in the 60s actually come to a place where it starts to take momentum. And then throughout the 40s and the 50s, it grows and it grows and it grows. In the 1960s, we see it in front of everyone's television. Right now, when you look at it like this, it's like, okay, yeah, we know all that. What's the big deal? Well, what's the big deal is what was also going on in the 1940s was World War II. Prior to the 1940s was the Spanish flu. that killed 50 million people. So what we see here is we see a process of things. Now, what is this process? This process is famine, war, and then solution. That's what it seems like. The reason I bring all this up is because there is absolutely something happening within this country and the way certain people are thinking of things, the way they're dealing with things on the judicial level, the legislative level. The world is in turmoil. Obviously, everyone knows what's going on in the world. I remember watching the whole George Floyd incident, seeing how the entire world had something to say about this.
Yes, sir.
One of the things that fueled the civil rights movement in the 1960s was this. There was an apparent hypocrisy of the United States, because the United States took the stage as the world's heroes to fight against fascism and tyranny, right? And they fought against the Japanese Empire and the Nazi Empire, the Nazi Germany. And so they were taking the moral high ground, doing all of that, while at the same time segregating people in their own country. Right?
Excuse me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. While America was taking the good fight, right? The best time, what is it known as? The greatest generation. That's what that generation was known as. The young boys that stormed the beaches of Normandy.
Oh,
fought for the islands in the Pacific against tyrannical governments and fascism.
yeah. They're good time. They were good people.
It was good people. It was arguably America's greatest time in history, but it was segregating its own people.
Wow.
And so there was like an apparent hypocrisy within the ideology within America. And this is kind of what fueled the movement of civil rights, right? Especially throughout the 50s, because it's like, hey, we're being treated like less than American, and here you are taking the high ground. And so it seems like something similar is going on now, right? But it also seems like the game is kind of up, because there's quite a bit going on politically, right? They're passing right now. The gun control stuff is up in the air, right? It's possible that there'll be an assault weapons ban coming soon, and it's also possible on the other side that the ATF will be altogether disbanded. One of those two things could happen by the end of the year. That's a very big deal on both sides.
Pretty serious, yeah.
It's a big deal. America is in a recession, and it's the beginning stages of a recession that could lead to depression level troubles, right? People are getting justice where we had to like really argue, and people had to take to the streets to see just 5 years ago, right? And now it's happening. Cops are getting criminal charges put against them by the federal government.
What?
The federal government is getting involved with what the state police have done, right? It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting, guys. And so what I would say is, when you look at all of this, right now is the time that the people that have always been the same people, that have always had the same troubles in this country, ought to start getting ready. What is that? Getting ready for what, you say? I don't know, but getting ready. Let me give you an example, and this might be what brings more people, brother. I want to show you guys this.
Oh, let's do it.
If you don't mind, just give me like 2 minutes. You guys see this little contraption?
Nunchucks.
No. Yeah. All right. I don't know what I need this for. Okay. But I took the time to make this. I have actually like 5 of these. They're all over my house. What this is a lighter, a Bic lighter. Bic lighters always work all the time. It's duct tape. I have duct tape on this because duct tape can be used as Band-Aids, and it's also very flammable. It burns for a long time. It's tied together with some more duct tape, and this is chapstick, because dry lips suck, and also so do dry wounds. Dry wounds also suck, and so this can act as a neosporin of sorts. And it's taped together so that I can just put this in my pocket, and this will actually help me for a very long time. It's very small. I keep these, and I keep a bunch of other little cool gadgets like that. Why? Because in the event that I have to leave the house and go outside, I know that I need fire. I need it. I have to have it. I know that I may end up with wounds on my hands. I can't work with hands that have cuts all over them. I need to be able to repair that. And I don't have a bunch of time to grab a bunch of stuff. So let me just grab a couple of things that I can shove in my pocket and let me get going. And I can do just fine with this and a couple other things. Just fine. And so what's the point? The point is we don't know what's in front of us. However, we do know that something massive is changing. Something big is changing, especially within the soul of this place that we live. And so it's best that we communicate with the people around us, the people that we call a community. We communicate with them and come together now and start kind of just getting some stuff together. You need food. You need water. You want to have successful businesses. You already know all that stuff. Start putting it together. No big deal. And kind of talk to each other about it. That's what Sol and I are doing. We're kind of talking to everyone about this stuff.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, it's good stuff, brother. I could tell you what's going to happen. Jeff didn't want to. You don't want to tell them.
I think you're better at talking than I am. I know you said that I am, but
yeah, I know. I'll tell them what's going to happen. So, what's coming is the Hispanic, so-called Latin, Hispanic, American, and not just American, but even the ones who are immigrants will be the majority in this country.
That's true.
So once was a minority, but will be the majority. The Hispanic, Latino, Latinx. That's about to happen. What also is about to happen is the so-called African American blacks are going to be the fastest growing, especially with the women making the kind of money they're making now, the fastest growing economic demographic. Brother, if I could let you peer into my, see things that I see black women coming up with businesses. I mean, like 2 of them a day, brother. It's just so easy for them, brother. Business. Black women. They're the fast for one. Ladies are the fastest growing entrepreneur group in the world. Women.
Okay.
Start a business, small business, sometimes not so small, but they're starting businesses.
Yeah.
But the so-called black women are starting businesses at a rate that rivals, nothing can rival. Also, the literacy in the black community is growing. And there's people like Earn Your Leisure, there's people like Him 500, there's people like even E.T. the hip hop preacher, there's so many people that's talking to the so-called black African American demographic, and there's a lot of more Africans, like people from Africa moving here, so that's African American, right, Jeff?
Mm-hmm.
And so financially, the African American is growing monetarily. So you have this great amount of growth in the black communities economically. Then you have this great amount of growth in the Latin Hispanic community bodies and politically. Because Jeff, tell me right now, brother, if the Hispanic community says, yeah, we'll have, no, I don't like either of these parties. Y'all are pissing us off, and y'all are pissing us off.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll spring up our own party. Brother, you know if they did that, what would happen? If they're the majority? Can you tell me what would happen?
Yeah, whatever they wanted. Yeah, whatever they want, brother. Yeah.
So that nobody has to say "si se puedo." No one has to say that to them.
All right.
Because that's not Spanish. That was Biden's wife said "si se puedo."
I believe, brother. Yeah.
What did I guess that's came from Obama, right? Yes, you can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Si se puede. I remember being in a place where people speak English and Spanish. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like about the same.
Yeah, about
And
50, yeah.
Yep, and there was this guy that came up to another guy. He said, "Hey, you need to catch out, man. You need to catch out." And the young dude he was talking to, young guy, was like, "No, no puedo."
I can't.
Can't.
Well,
I said, "I mean, you get your stuff, man. Catch out." No puedo.
yeah.
Turning something, and the dude they hit him with one of those chow trays.
Oh damn!
Split his head up. But he told him no puedo. He can't. I can't. I'm not. He was standing up. He said, "I can't." Brother, he could have just walked. But he said, "I can't."
Yeah.
In Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's happening now. There's some other things happening when you see this legislative stuff that's keeping us, that's helping us, not keeping us, helping us to not abort our children.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to abort children, you can go to California. I'll go ahead and let them know, Jeff. All right.
Yeah.
Go to California. You can also go to Kansas now. All right. If you want to, you can. And that's all you have to do is go to either Kansas or go to California. I mean,
Yeah,
if you
both
want
nice places to live.
Yeah, well, they can just go real fast. If you want to that bad, like if you really, 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 really want to, nobody's going to stop. You know, brother, I don't think God has ever stopped me from doing wrong, brother. Like doing what he didn't want me to do.
Nah.
So. Can you remember when he straight up stopped you?
Nah. He frustrated my path a few times, but I kind of muscled through it.
Yeah.
And
I want to do this.
Yeah, I want to do it. So I went about getting in trouble anyways. So, yeah, no, he's never just straight up stopped me.
So I want everybody to know that. Don't think, oh no, you know, I'm doing this stuff, and you know the Christians are saying, don't worry about it. The Bible says keep if you're doing it, keep doing it. The Bible tells you just keep doing it. If the scriptures will even tell somebody that's wicked, if you're wicked, be wicked still. It's in the Bible. It's in Revelation.
Yes, sir. Yeah. If you're wicked, continue.
Yeah, just keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about stopping. Why stop now?
Yeah, drink, be merry. You'll be judged in the morning.
You say, wait a minute, man. I know you guys didn't say that y'all are pastors, but hey, be careful what y'all saying. No, I'm not going to be careful what I'm saying. I didn't write it.
Yeah.
I didn't write it. You know, the scriptures and righteousness is for who it's for.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. I'm not going to go around telling everybody, hey, stop. I'm not going to tell a man, hey, take that football ring off while you're jerking him off. If you want to have your football class ring or whatever, and you want to use that to stroke a man, do whatever. I don't care, man. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Brother, you think another person outside of you can make you do what you don't want to do, or stop you from doing what you do want to do?
Nah, brother. No, not even if they put me on salary.
Exactly.
The people that pay me salary still got a hard time making me do what they want, brother.
So that's how it is. Never confuse what I'm bringing, and I might as well say it for Jeff too. Never confuse what we're saying to y'all as, hey, give us a chance to talk you out of it, or stop doing this, or else do whatever you want. As long as it doesn't violate myself and my family, it doesn't matter. Do whatever you want. But back to what we're really trying to say about this thing is that we have an opportunity, and we've been talking about this since 2020. It's 2022, so-called 2022, and we're in position. Because if you just look at the markers and say, wait a minute, that usually doesn't happen. Don't go celebrate. Yay! Men are getting locked up. That's not something to celebrate. You hear that somebody else is going to have life the whole time you're alive, they're alive, but they're going to be in there. It's nothing. I don't see how anything's exciting about that. I don't, brother. Maybe some other people do.
No, but yeah, it's not even like that. But it's like you're saying, where it's like, okay, this means something here. That means because this is a fruit.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? This is like something that we're looking at, saying, wait, why is this here? This wasn't here before. Now it's here.
That's right.
Brother. When I say it wasn't here before, I don't know if everyone really understands, because it seems like nobody really cares. It was so much not here before that entire cities were burned to the ground over the course of a decade. Yeah. The riots we saw during the pandemic stuff, the lockdown, that wasn't new. That's not new.
Yeah, right.
LA burned in the 90s. LA also burned in the 60s.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and it's always been from the same stuff. It's the same thing, that the same riots and the same way people have dealt with it. It's been for the same reason: being treated unfairly, being treated unjustly, and watching justice fail. But the hypocrisy of it succeeding, over correcting in these other communities, right? Correct. The Hispanic and the Black communities, we have to deal with extreme justice, right? Over extreme justice, but then they get no justice. You know what I'm saying? And
absolutely,
now we see there's justice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you burn a city down, and then the person says, okay, fine, we'll give you what you want. What do you do now? Well, now it's time for you to build. That's what you do.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's a time like we hadn't seen in our lifetime.
Right.
There's a resetting going on. Look at this recession as a resetting.
Yeah.
It levels the playing field. If you're used to not making much money, or you're used to not, you can just get creative during this time. While everybody's I'm running out of money, doing all that, you can give them a service to not feel so afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, I heard you screaming about something. Is there any way I can help? Yeah, it's just that I'm running out of all of my money. No worries. Let's do this. What would you spend your money on? Well, usually on detergent, and right, here's some detergent. I end up buying a whole bunch of it just on a whim.
Yeah.
How much do you usually pay for detergent? Well, at the stores, it's this much. Well, I have it for this much. Or what if I just bring you a package every month? We'll say it's $50. Cleaning supplies. Jeff, didn't you talk about this before?
I did, yeah.
It's a little stationary.
Yeah. A little well-to-do pack.
Yeah, a little commissary, right? It's kind of like it's commissary.
Mm-hmm.
If you do that and you make your margins, your profit, you'll do well.
Yeah. If
we do it as a people, we say, okay, that's what we'll do. We'll pool $20 million into this stuff. Excuse me, we'll buy it pennies on a dollar, toilet paper, whatever it is. And then somebody else says, hey, those people over there have all the toilet paper. Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm.
But don't give us that money that's almost worth nothing. Give us the things that we want. We'll give you toilet paper. It's a resetting. It's like the purge. It's all it's hit. We're here. We are, and it will take us putting our heads together. We say that to be modest, because Jeff and I already have the plan.
Yeah,
we just need more heads so that we can all say,
yeah.
And then we'll dip.
Break. Yeah.
Of course we have the plan. We wouldn't be talking about y'all talking about this to y'all if we didn't have a plan.
Yeah.
We're not news reporters saying, hey, look, it's dark outside.
Yeah.
So with the economy doing what it's doing, with the judgments doing what they're doing, with the Latin community, about the black community, so-called black community, we're all one.
Yeah.
And the more I say that, the more it may stick. We're all one.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say we, you know exactly who I'm talking about when I say we. Y'all know what I'm talking about when I say we. You know, whenever you are trying to make progress in any land that you go to and it doesn't work, you're one of us.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. If you go somewhere and you're not a friend of all the people there, you're one of us. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
If you do well in school and people are surprised,
Yes, sir.
right, you're one of us. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. If you get rich and it's a big deal because it's you, then you're one of us.
You're one of us.
Then they get rich, nobody really knows who they are, even.
Right.
When one of us get rich, it goes on the news.
Yeah, you're one of us.
Yeah.
Now, of the so-called Black African Americans, there's no growth in the population. Jeff, it is literally flatlined all the way through for the last 10, 15, 20 years. How? How, brother? Come on, man. There's no group declining, but no other group is just flat across.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean it's heavily on cultural. So I'll say like with the Hispanic community and its growth, it's grown phenomenally in the last 20 years. At any metric, the Hispanic community has grown substantially within
Yes,
the
sir.
United States. And you can look at any time frame. You can look at the decade of the 40s, 50s, 60s. The reason why is because of, some of the cultural ideas within most of the traditional values. The Hispanic family is to have a lot of children, man. Having lots of children means more people. More people means more stuff gets done. And one of the things we're fighting with right now economically, especially in the southern states, is not having enough workers. And if you ask the companies where all the workers are, they'll say something like this. Well, all the Mexicans are doing all the work for free or for very cheap.
Right.
They'll say that. And it's because there's such a large population of workers that are working for a fair wage. That it's causing a disruption within the American economy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, well, I don't know if that was done purposefully, but that's what happens when you continue to grow the population. But it comes down to a difference in cultural ideas, I suppose.
Yeah, that, and also the so-called black people are dying, brother.
Yeah.
We're dying, brother. We're dying.
Yeah, that's
Either
true.
you
Man.
die before you get born,
Damn.
or you die when you get born because of sickness or not really paying attention to the child, or when the child is so delicate, brother. I know a lot of people who have lost their children in the first 5 years of their life, or we're dying from drugs, or we're dying from car accidents, or we're dying from killing each other, or we're dying from diseases. Just dying, man. Just dying. We're dying as many as we're being born.
Yeah.
And so that's an easy fix, Jeff. That's an easy fix. If everybody's eating healthier, that's a huge portion of people that's not going to die. If we stop aborting our children, at least half of us, do whatever you want. But if half of the people that abort children, or said, no, I'm not going to do that again ever. And everybody I know, I'm gonna tell them how it was. So if just half of us stop doing that, and this is not an attack against women, because I know a lot of men that have paid for abortions, especially the men who wear the best suits on Sundays.
Yeah.
They pay for abortions. They pay for abortions of people that's in their congregation, and they use the congregants' money to do it.
Yeah. It's pretty damn terrible, man.
Let's see. So maybe he, preacher man might repent. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he'll slow down on some of that stuff. And if we could do that, then show self-respect. The Hispanic community, so-called Hispanic community, Latino community, and I saw somebody going around saying Latinx
with the little X.
If the community of us who probably are what they would call black, but look like a variation of black, still one of us. Yeah, if we all just decided that we would see this as an opportunity and read books and encourage one another instead of using fight words, that's going to turn into. My brother, both myself and my brother was on the way to work yesterday. It was yesterday. Yesterday morning, I was on my way to work. I heard 5 gunshots. I know what that means, brother. Sunday morning at around whatever time it was, because I don't need to be on anybody's. Don't come talk to me. I don't know anything. I didn't see anything. But Sunday morning, brother.
Yeah.
You know what that means, right? It can only mean one thing. I get to work, I didn't see anything, so there's nothing I could do. Get to work. I'm just doing my thing. My brother and I are talking. I tell him something strange that happened to me this morning. He's like, "Oh, you saw that on some street?" And I was like, "No." Yeah, on my way to work. This dude, he starts telling me about something else, brother, that happened on his way to work. It's a completely different street.
Damn. And not close enough to each other for it to be the same thing.
No, it wasn't close enough. And it was an hour or so later.
Oh, wow, man. Yeah.
Killing each other, brother. They're giving each other a chance. But we have an opportunity is what we're saying. Look at what's happening. Understand that there's a shift happening. So many people were like, "Oh, 400 years, 400 years, 400 years." It's not as bad as it was just 2 years ago, 2020. That's when the 400 years ended. We talked about this, right, Jeff?
Yeah, we did. There were some major changes coming. And, yeah.
So position yourselves, Jeff, from what you've been seeing and what you've been paying attention to, anything that might be helpful or some stuff that they can look up and bring back to the table so we can dissect it and see what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's quite a few things that are doing very well right now, and so it's a phenomenon of sorts. We're in a recession, and everything is more expensive, and people are accruing more debt. What's also happening though is people are spending more money than ever before, right? And so, and this could be directly related to the cost of things. It just looks like they're spending more money because everything is more expensive, and they're just spending the same, right? However, this is a good chance to put your money in the right places for the next couple of years for it to benefit. So you have to play your cards right during times like this. You absolutely have to play your cards right, not only economically, but strategically. And when it comes to like the defense of your home, the gathering and the building of your community. And so if we take notes of when something like this happened in the past, there were things. Let's say, for example, if let's say the so-called African American community knew in the 40s that the civil rights would be such a big deal in the 60s, what would they have done differently during that time in the 40s? Right? What would they have done differently during the Great Depression earlier? You see,
Right.
and so many people get wealthy during this time. And this is something that we should be looking at. You guys should be taking a look at the different industries that are doing very well, where the businesses are starting, and where the ones are that are thriving. I just saw a new business open up not far from here, and they're already booming, man. They're doing well. You know what I mean? And so that's what we need to take a look at. We need to start getting with our families, guys, and come up with a plan to start solving some of the issues within the families, right? There's a lot of drama in all of our families. We need to fix that. We need to go fix the drama, fix all the problems as best we can, and then start working together towards a greater goal. And then we need to start linking up with other families, keep that stuff in mind, start reconnecting with some of your friends and family from the past. You know what I mean? Check on people, see how they're doing. Just get back connected. Let's get off the internet and start connecting with people. There's a lot of changes coming in the way of the Second Amendment. There's a lot of changes coming in the way of the First Amendment. And so do with that information what you will. And yeah, start thinking about what's coming next. And what's coming next is, I think, what we called in the past the golden era, something like that. The golden era for what was previously called the minority.
Yeah, if we make it,
Longer a minority.
yeah, it'll be up to us. But yeah, if we make it, yes.
Yeah, if we do it right, we won't be a minority, and it will be the golden era for us.
I want to reiterate the importance of family. Because if you're saying, well, what can we all do? We're all separate and all. Your family, you can do that. You can go to your family, learn how to be a little bit more patient. Because you would have, we all would have done this a long time ago if it was so easy. So it's still not going to be easy, but go ahead and get with family members and just talk about working together. You've heard it said, keep family and business completely separated. That's like selling drugs.
Well, that's when business is very dangerous. That's for dangerous business.
That's because if you have a fruit stand, you can work with your family. It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah. If you're a mercenary and you fight for money in war,
Right.
Don't bring your mom. Go do that without your mom.
Okay, so that's what that means.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
And then, whatever else you guys could think of, but